walking on this planet. We are God walking in a human avatar body. A divine spark came in on a frequency into this avatar body to animate it. And every spark is from one source. Just like if you have a radio dial. I know some of y'all are probably not that old like I am, but when I was a kid, you had to turn a dial to get the radio station. Now I think you just could push a button. I don't listen to the radio, but if you push a button, you'll go to 99.1, 99.2, 99.3, so forth and so on. All that comes from one radio station though. It's broadcast out slightly different frequencies. And then you pick up the frequency that you like. Each avatar body is set to pick up a specific frequency coming from the one divine source. So that means you are divine. You are God walking in the flesh. The spirit has come down to inhabit this avatar body and your avatar body for animation, for the purpose of collecting information. That's what you're here to do. You're on a data collection mission. Spirit is on a data collection mission and to learn. That's what it's all about. So, give you an example. The brain is encased in complete darkness inside of your skull. The brain doesn't see, hear, or know anything. It knows nothing. The brain knows nothing. And the brain doesn't create consciousness, it downloads consciousness. But the brain has friends. It has senses. Sight, hearing, smell, touch, taste. The brain says, hey guys, I want to figure out what's going on in this electromagnetic matrix. Go out there and get me some information. So what happens is, those 5 friends, those senses, they go out, hearing, smelling, touch, taste, and everything else. They go out, sight, and they go out and they grab information. They grab bits of data. They interact with the electromagnetic fields that are operating all around us. Because the only thing that exists out here is electromagnetic fields. There is nothing solid. So solidity is an illusion. So they interact with these electromagnetic fields and they capture little tidbits of the frequencies that are around that they have the range. They've been given the range to actually be able to accept. So they take little bits of the frequency range data, which they themselves can't decipher. Touch can't decipher the data it collects. Smell can't decipher the data it collects. Sight can't decipher the data it collects. Taste can't decipher the data it collects. You understand what I'm saying? It has to send that data to the brain. So it says, here, my friend, here, take this. We got the information you were looking for. We don't know what it means. You can figure this out. The brain takes that information, breaks it down, and then it says, oh, okay, I take this frequency, this frequency, this frequency, this frequency, this frequency. Now I'm going to broadcast a hologram as to what's going on the outside. And then this avatar body will navigate through that holographic projection from the brain through this electromagnetic matrix. That's how you get around. That's how you move through this matrix. Everything exists only as a frequency, a wave of potentials. Only a wave of potentials exist. This eyeglass case, for the glasses I have on here now, this eyeglass case. This eyeglass case it has a specific atomic frequency, subatomic frequency, the atoms in here. When I'm not looking at this case, it exists as an electromagnetic wave coded specifically to the frequency of the subatomic frequency of the atoms that make up that case. When I see it, what happens is my consciousness collapses that frequency into a solid object. This is real physics, guys. What I'm telling you is real science, not pseudoscience, real science. Physics.org just took the first video and photo of a solid object starting out as a wave and then converting into a solid object. They were able to capture that exact microsecond, or probably a Planck unit of time, capture that transformation. Everything in the third dimension exists only as waves. When you're away from your house is a wave of potentials set to a specific coded frequency, so that when it collapses, it always collapses back into that same exact structure. And the electrons that orbit the atoms in everything, your house, your car, your cell phone, your glasses, your clothes, and in your body, every electron that orbits every atom in this entire universe is conscious. So if every electron is conscious, and we know this through the double slit experiment, then everything is conscious. Yeah. This case is conscious. A rock is conscious. This pen is conscious because the electrons are conscious.
Electron is a tiny, tiny bit of matter, like a tiny marble. Let's fire a stream through one slit. It behaves just like the marble, a single band. So, if we shoot these tiny bits through two slits, we should get, like the marbles, two bands. What? An interference pattern. We fired electrons, tiny bits of matter through. We get a pattern like waves, not like little marbles. How? How could pieces of matter create an interference pattern like a wave? It doesn't make sense. But physicists are clever. They thought, maybe those little balls are bouncing off each other and creating that pattern. So they decide to shoot electrons through one at a time. There is no way they could interfere with each other. But after an hour of this, the same interference pattern is seen to emerge. The conclusion is inescapable. The single electron leaves as a particle, becomes a wave of potentials, goes through both slits, and interferes with itself to hit the wall like a particle. But mathematically, it's even stranger. It goes through both slits, and it goes through neither. And it goes through just one, and it goes through just the other. All of these possibilities are in superposition with each other. But physicists were completely baffled by this. So they decided to peek and see which slit it actually goes through. They put a measuring device by one slit to see which one it went through and let it fly. But the quantum world is far more mysterious than they could have imagined. When they observed, the electron went back to behaving like a little marble. It produced a pattern of two bands, not an interference pattern of many. The very act of measuring or observing which slit it went through meant it only went through one, not both. The electron decided to act differently, as though it was aware it was being watched.